Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another weekly forecast slash breakdown. And before we get started, we always run through the VIP results. So let's quickly run through that. You can see here we have two trades that we ended up taking last week, and one was on Tuesday where we ended up taking a profit at TP1. However, the trade came back and hit our stop loss, and then price did continue higher there. So we ended up getting 0.5% on that, but the direction was correct. The targets on Tuesday were for like at least 2,700, at least that was the take profit 3. And then Friday was a fantastic trade where we ended up catching 3% here, and that was half shared here once we passed take profit 1 onto the free channel, and then price continued pushing up. So this is a very interesting trade that I do want to talk about. But before I talk about that, I do want to talk about a trade on Thursday that we took, which if we go onto the charts here, and let's go and make this full screen so we can have a look. So if we have a quick breakdown of the week, you can see that Monday started right about here. So this is the start of the week. We ended up creating a gap on the open, and you can see that price sort of danced around below that, and then once the price pushed above, it then continued higher from there. So Monday, Tuesday, we ended up trying to catch this sort of trade here, but we did get stopped out just below right there, and then price did push up at that 10 a.m. candle, and it was at like around about 9:30 when we ended up getting taken out. So we were trying to buy from this retracement here, and then we just ended up, I believe it was consolidating quite a lot. Yeah, there you go. So you can see that it was just like spiking left and right, and then it took out the prior low here and then decided to give us that bullish move up. But by then we already took profit at TP1, came back down, took us out, and then price moved up. So on this one, it was a bit sort of cautious with the stop loss, and I bought it up aggressively, which ended up taking us out. So I was ready for the next trade to, obviously the target is still 2,700 at that time. So I was always like waiting for the next trade, and the next trade was on Thursday. Now, Thursday was an absolute shambles by me because we ended up seeing a move like this. So you can see the all-time high was right here, right? We ended up catching a buy move on, I believe it's the London pullback, which was right about here, and then price pushed up, tapped the all-time high, and then pushed back down here. And obviously I was looking for another sort of move up, but this was before our time for entry, and price cleared the all-time high again here, and then price pushed back down. Because it was Thursday, we were potentially looking for a reversal if possible, but price ended up pushing down here, and I was looking to target, here's the Asia low, and here was some equal lows that I was looking for price to at least break below here, then push up, but we didn't get that. So with retail sales, as you can see right there, price ended up gapping below, and price pushed up and then used the gap it created to then push higher. And you can see right there, price retraced back into this gap, and then price continued up. And we were practically just left just watching this trade move away. There were entries, obviously with hindsight you end up seeing entries like, oh yeah, I could have entered there, I could have entered here, and that was potentially with our New York Open, which is around about here. We could have entered on this retracement right there, and then for price to continue higher. But the main target was 2,700, and at this point I was like, yeah, 27 is going to get clipped. We price retraced and then pushed up, and then 2,700 got taken out overnight. So that was another trade we ended up missing, but we had the right idea. And at this point, it really affects your sort of psychology here, because you're missing trades and the price is getting pushing away from you, and you're like, what if there's not another trade? So then I was like, okay, now it's Friday, so let's have a look at, is there any possibility that we can get a trade on Friday? Maybe. Let's have a look. So you can see that price ended up taking out the high again on Friday. It pushed up above that high, and at this point we were looking for sell positions. The reason, because it's Friday, we get profit taking, and we could potentially be looking for a sell. And I did share that on the Telegram, and it was a bit confusing because on the free channel I was saying that I'm expecting for a bearish move, but then I ended up sending a buy position. Why is that? So if you go to the group, we have a look at the actual VIP group and what I was thinking. This is what I was thinking at first. So you can see that price took out the 27.14 high here just before the US session. And then I was looking for a price to either retrace to push higher or retrace lower to then use that to go even lower to basically make the bearish move for the day. So it was all because of this 1 hour fair value gap. I'm going to show you this on the chart and you'll be able to see it. So if I go into the 60-minute time frame, you can see that there is a 1 hour fair value gap which was right here, which was unfilled before price came down. You can also see that on the 30-minute time frame, there's a 30-minute gap as well, and we could potentially even use the 30-minute just for this example because it's a lot more clearer. You can see right there that there was a 30-minute imbalance right there. So with this price pushing down into here, I wanted to see if price closed down here, but price just bounced off after filling all the 30-minute imbalance and pushed back up. So it was at this point where I was looking for, let's see if we can get a potential buy position here. So then we go down to the 1 minute time frame, and this is how I ended up getting a very, very tight stop loss. And it was quite close, to be honest, but it ended up working out in the end. It was like a 20 pip stop loss. You can see here I was waiting for price to break up, which it did. Broke the previous high structure there. It's in our reversal area. Price has pushed down into discount as well. So a lot of confirmations. We wait for the retracement, which was around about there, and then we look to see price pushing up. So this is where it got a bit tense. If I put our position there, the stop loss was below this low, and then obviously the targets are above the first high right there. You can see that price came very, very close to the stop loss. And it's at this point where New York Open also opened up as well. So we ended up getting a lot of volatility right at this area. There's a lot of spikes, a lot of wicks and stuff. And I was fearful that price could take us out and then move higher. But with this stop loss right there, and obviously it following structure, we didn't want it to break a new low. We wanted it to keep pushing higher, and that it did. And I sent it right here after we were saying we were buying SL prior low, and then it was right here where I was expecting price held structure. Can we see price push up to TP1? And then we ended up getting TP1, and then we ended up getting TP2, which was above the prior high again, right up there. So obviously that was where we took our profits. That was a lovely sort of 3% that we ended up taking, because we ended up taking half. It was a 6% in total. Took half, ended up getting 3% in total. I'm happy with that. Fantastic trade. And that sort of made up for us missing on Thursday and Tuesday missing half of the trade as well. So you got to sort of keep it in line with psychology and stuff, because you could end up losing track if you end up missing your trades. If you just say, fine, it's gone, we get another opportunity, you'll be able to capitalize, and it could even be a better trade. If you think about it, this trade from here on Thursday, where was it? It was around about there, right here. So this move from 9:30, for example, to it did, say, 100 pips in an hour, right there. And then obviously it did continue up if you were going to swing that to 2700. This trade also did the same thing. So from 9:30, it did possibly 120 in an hour. So this trade was a lot quicker to get to its destination where it wanted to go. So that was even a better trade than the prior trade, because the last trade here took a lot longer to get there, whereas this we were in an hour, and fantastic. So that was my sort of breakdown on last week. Time to get into the next week's forecast. So gold is on an absolute flyer here. It's still going. We were expecting for price to pull back towards 2600 on my previous forecast, if you did watch that, and we did get that. It's a shame we couldn't get the buy from here, because we were expecting it. We were looking for this pump right here, looking for some sort of retracement for price to push down, which it did. Price then broke structure, held on to that, on that manipulation area there, and then we ended up getting a nice impulsive move to the upside. So now 2720 is where we're sort of sitting. We've got 2700 below, and we got some structures that we're sort of looking at. If we sort of move all of these key areas but keep 2700, let's whack on 2800, because hey, gold is climbing. So we got to start putting these up there. Big 2800 right there, 2700 here. If we go to our daily time frame, wherever it is, right there, we can see that we have created a order block right there. A low, a lower low, and then we have a higher high. So this has now become a breaker. So this is a key level of support. So around about 26.50. I'm assuming that price should get held if it wants to continue. So with price pushing up this high, I will be looking for some similar move to what we got here, where price ended up giving us a nice impulsive move. We should end up seeing some sort of consolidation now, where price starts to chop around and starts pulling back. This is another impulsive leg. We could get Monday, could even push a little bit higher, and then we could see some sort of consolidation midweek and possibly going into next week. So I'm not expecting anything too crazy. We have durable goods on the 25th of October in terms of news, and that's Friday. So nothing too crazy in terms of news. Going into next week, I'd keep it calm. We had an impulsive move. If we see any sort of bullish retracements at US session, where price pulls back for another move up, yes, you can potentially get into a buy if the setup is there, but I'd expect for some sort of consolidation at the moment. If price starts pulling down, hey, that's even a bonus for price to continue higher again. So a lot of scenarios, keep the bullish mindset going into next week. We have some sort of retracements around about 26.50. This is where I'm expecting price to be held to push up. If price pushes below 26.50, then yeah, I'll be expecting price to push into the bearish sort of mood, but with tensions and war escalations in the Middle East, I'm not expecting gold to turn bullish anytime soon. In fact, that big 3K, not that far. We could keep climbing and get to that 3,000 by the end of this year. But that's pretty much it for me. If you guys are not in the free channel and you made it all this way, please just join the free channel. The link's in the description. Don't forget to subscribe and like if you learned something from this video and learned something from the breakdown, or even follow my analysis and just want to show some support. That would be great. Other than that, it's been Oasis FX. Peace out.